What is up, investors, and welcome back to the Everything Crypto Show. I'm your host, Everything Crypto, here to bring you the latest and most important news moving the crypto markets. Now, as always, please remember that nothing on this channel is financial advice, rather my own thoughts, opinions, and research that I am posting for viewer education and entertainment purposes only. And I love this community, so please invest responsibly, and I appreciate you all. Now, on that note, yes, we are still on vacation. This is going to be the last video in the echo chamber, I promise, as I will be headed home on Wednesday, and then I should be back with my regular setup. But there is more news regarding the whole Solana situation that we did break down yesterday, which I do believe poses a massive threat to the crypto space. So we're going to break that whole down for you. But first of all, we're going to get right into the fear and greed index here, which is sitting at a 9. Yesterday we were at a 6, so we're up slightly on the day. However, you can see here we are still in this heightened state of fear. And once again, I do expect us to remain in this heightened state of fear as long as the macro and the micro outlook continue to look this ugly. There's just no positive catalyst to move the market up, in my opinion. And that is also why I'm not really taking this bounce on Bitcoin very seriously here back above 20K, because as you can see, we are still below the 200-week moving average that is right here at 22.3 thousand. And Ethereum here is still below its 200-week moving average, which is also aligned with a very strong level of resistance at 1175. So in my opinion, I do see this as more of a dead cat bounce before we do continue to move to the downside. I do still expect Ethereum to underperform Bitcoin, as we have seen a huge breakdown on the ETH versus Bitcoin valuation, and so far this chart has pretty much followed the trend lines that we did draw to a T. And a big reason that we have seen so much pain in the crypto markets over these past couple of weeks is because of these big firms like Celsius and like 3 Arrows Capital getting liquidated or at risk of getting liquidated, and the liquidations are still not yet over. These market makers are not done hunting these big whales and forcing them to sell. And we actually have a list here from Miles Duger on Twitter, who basically breaks down the massive liquidations to keep your eyes on the moment, including almost 24,000 wrapped Bitcoin for Celsius that will be liquidated if Bitcoin hits a price of 13.6K. Solana here, which we did discuss yesterday and we're going to break down again today, is at a risk of having 5.7 million liquidated at $22.30, equivalent to $160 million worth. And Ethereum here, a big whale with 152K ETH, is risking liquidation at 895 per ETH, which is equivalent to 141 mil. And based on how these market makers have been acting over the past week, I actually would not be surprised to see both the Solana and the Ethereum one get hit. As for the Bitcoin one, I don't know if we will go that low, but it is definitely a possibility. And actually the next level I'm looking for on Bitcoin here is in and around that 15,000 level. So if these whales really want to push this down to 13.6K, they can absolutely do so. Now we're going to get right into the Solana news here, as we did break down yesterday what happened. So just a quick recap here. Essentially, a massive whale on Solend, Solana's biggest borrowing platform, actually had a huge position of 170 mil Solana deposited and 108 million worth of stables borrowed, which is currently 95% of the Solana deposits and 86% of the USD borrows. And as the position creeps closer to liquidation, it began to trigger fears that user funds could be put at risk. And Solana's recent instability lends itself to potential issues amidst a mass liquidation event, and users' funds could be vulnerable due to high slippage. So in response, Solend protocol decided to reach out to the whale to negotiate a situation, but the whale never responded. So Solend issued a proposal which intended to grant emergency power to temporarily take over the whale's account so the liquidation could be executed over the counter, as executing this liquidation on chain would actually threaten the Solana ecosystem once again. And it's already been down a dozen times this year, so they do not want this to happen again. Now, as you can see here, and we did discuss in the video yesterday, that this whole vote was entirely broken, as essentially the proposal passed with 1.15 million votes in support and 30,000 votes against. However, one single voter provided 1 million of the yes votes, passing the proposal. So this is just not decentralized at all. You literally have one whale here accounting for over 90% of the votes. So all these other votes did really not mean anything. Now, it did Additionally, the vote was only open for 6 hours, and 3 of these hours it was down. So essentially over 90% of the votes were issued by a single user, and the fate of 270 million in user assets are effectively being decided by a single entity. And this is a fundamental flaw in the system, as the voting power is decided by your DAO holdings. So this resulted in further division amongst the community, and Solana Protocol quickly rushed to fix their mistake. Actually, pretty much right after we released yesterday's video, they invalidated vote number 1 and instead issued a new proposal to invalidate the last proposal and increase the governance voting time to 1 day. Now, the big voter here took to Discord to justify their position, and they basically said that they are planning to vote yes on the second proposal. They don't care about crypto Twitter hate if it means salvaging 120 mil of retail dollars instead of holding up DeFi ethos for some whale that is degenerately gambling away 9-figure positions. So this big whale is voting in favor of the second vote to actually invalidate the first vote. But this really does raise a question of what is the point of a DAO if proposed outcomes are not followed? And also, what is the point of a DAO if one single entity has so much control over these DAO proposals? They're really just, the whole system is broken. And to be honest, either way you look at it, this just does not paint a very good picture for Solana, as either the vote passes and they just hold one of their biggest whales funds hostage, or the vote does not pass and they face this liquidation and they face risk of Solana network going down once again. So that's all the news that we have here for Solana. And now we're going to move into the Hbar news. We're going to talk about some L1s that I do believe in and talk about why these are the layer ones that I do invest in over Solana for the most part. And for starters here, we can see that Hbar is definitely getting ready to enter the metaverse hard and strong here, as they are launching a AAA gaming launchpad, which is built on Hedera. And this is coming to you by Dropper NFT. Okay, so they are supporting the NFT launchpad and marketplace, working to bridge game developers, players, and streamers from Web 2 into Web 3. Now, if we actually take a look here at Hedera's website and we go to the governance council, you're going to notice that the most recent member of their council was Ubisoft, a traditional gaming giant. And we have discussed this multiple times in the past, as there are connections between both Cronos and Hedera to Ubisoft. But I do believe that Ubisoft is intending to actually build out their metaverse game on Hedera, and that would be absolutely massive news. But here you can see that Dropper is sort of justifying why they did build Hedera, as it is 250,000 times more energy efficient than Bitcoin, using just 0.001 kilowatt hours per transaction in comparison to even Ethereum, which uses 55 kilowatts. The transaction speed is fast, and layer 2 solutions are clunky at best and confusing at worst, when you can just build right on Hedera, giving you the speed and transaction cost of a layer 2 like Polygon, like Optimism, or like Arbitrum, without the need to network swap. So definitely highlighting why Hbar is ideal for users to come and build out on. This is why it is one of the layer ones that we are incredibly bullish on for the future, and it is actually behind CRO, my third biggest altcoin position. So we're also going to move on to some Hbar staking news here, and this is absolutely massive. We've been waiting for Hbar staking for a while, and now we are going to actually be rewarded to actually hold our Hbar for the long term, as Hedera staking will take place. Now, it is going to deploy in several phases. The first phase, in release 0.27, will allow users to stake their Hbar to a node when the staking reward account is sufficiently funded, and when the total Hbar staked to a node exceeds the minimum threshold, users will receive staking rewards for each full day they stake as a side effect of any transaction that changes their balance. And basically, by staking your Hedera, what you are doing is supporting the transactions on the network. And we can take a look here on a Dragon Glass to actually see what Hedera is doing at the second. You can see that overall we have done over 2 billion transactions. But if you take a look at the TPS here, we're coming in at about 2 transactions per second. Hedera is built to handle over 10,000 transactions per second. So in my opinion, this just leaves a lot of room of growth for the platform. And obviously, as these transactions per second do continue to grow, they are going to want to implement staking to actually incentivize users to contribute to the network. So in a proof of stake network, the network must support native staking, so consensus can be weighted by stake, and there will be no bonding or slashing with the staking, which is definitely another big move by the Hedera council. However, there is a minimum staking period defined by the council, which is presumed to only be 1 day in this document, so that is absolutely nothing. So they have created staking here where there will be no bonding or slashing with very minimal staking period requirements, and I do really like the way that the staking feature is shaping up to look so far, and that is why I do put my faith in projects like Hedera. And just an example of some other projects that I do really like as L1 solutions, that includes Avalanche here, which with the use of their subnets does pretty much have effectively like infinite scalability, and it basically allows both individuals and businesses to build custom blockchain networks optimized to fit everybody's needs. These subnets are seamlessly interoperable with the broader Avalanche ecosystem, do not compete with others for network resources, and basically in order to build your own subnet, you need to stake 2,000 Avax to create your own subnet. So what this does is it creates a lot of incentive for people to buy and hold their Avalanche. And another blockchain here that I do have a lot of faith in for the future is XRP, powered by Ripple. And XRP here is going directly after businesses offering solutions such as cross-border payments through crypto liquidity, and their liquidity platform has seen 8x growth quarter over quarter, as well as CBDCs, which, like it or not, they are coming either way in my personal opinion. So this is why I do place my faith in projects like Hedera, and projects like Avalanche, and projects like XRP, which I see being the main competitors to Ethereum. Now, that's not to say that I think Ethereum will die. In fact, I believe that by the time the next bull run takes place, that Ethereum will still be the king of DeFi, but longer term down the road, it is definitely possible that one of these altcoins could become the new king. You can never say never, especially in an industry like crypto that is so new and is still evolving pretty much by the day. So once again, I just want to reiterate here that I am not a Solana hater whatsoever, but given what we have seen with Solana and Solend over the past 48 hours, it sort of just does reaffirm my decision to stay away from Solana as a whole. And I really do like what's going on here with Hbar in terms of both their metaverse gaming that will be coming very soon, as well as their staking. So these are things that I am looking forward to. I do plan to keep you guys updated on all of the latest updates with both the Solana situation and the Hedera situation. Now, with that said, I'm going to get out of this echo chamber and go to bed, but I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out for now.